shadows whisper when the lights go dim. Cold breath crawling on my skin. Voices echo from the other side. Is it real or just my mind? Things paranormal talks in the dark. Secrets buried leave a burning mark. We interview the dead, we debate the unknown. Chasing shadows where the seeds are sown. Fingers tapping on a Ouija board. Broken silence like a shattered chord. Eerie hums in the dead.
I don't know if I have a delay, but
Hi.
hi, it worked.
That was so cool. I love that.
Yeah, thanks. I love that song.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it worked in the end.
At the
Welcome
end.
everybody to New Things Paranormal Talks.
Hello.
Today we have somebody I'm a big fan of, Queen of Vikings.
Hi, guys. Hello, everybody.
And for those who don't know you, could you introduce yourself and what do we know you from?
Yeah, I'm Queen of Vikings. I'm the Scandinavian Canadian. I see and hear dead people, and I'm a great time.
Yes, definitely. You do, and that's something I follow for a long time already. You do a lot of sketches,
I do, yeah.
which are so incredibly funny.
Thank
I
you.
think, at least I think they are very funny and they make me laugh a lot. Can you tell me something about that?
The sketches actually are a relatively newer thing that I started doing. I've been talking a bit about my paranormal experiences on my Twitch streams, and people were really receptive to it. So I thought of just testing the water, seeing what the public response would be, and it's been nothing but really positive, and people are super interested. So I just kept at it.
That's nice. Um, how did all the ghost stuff start? Like, how did you start noticing you saw spirits?
Ooh, my first experience, I was probably around 5 or 6. I woke up in the middle of the night to a woman standing at the edge of my bed. So naturally, I screamed for my mom. She came in, checked the closet, checked under the bed, all the places that a monster would be. And this is something that relatively runs in my family. So when I started describing what I was seeing, she brought holy water and started spraying around my bed to keep me protected. And I remember her sitting me down and saying, "The next time you feel this," and I panicked because I was like, "What do you mean next time? I don't want to see this again." Um, but she said, "The next time you see this, just try to think about how she feels." And I don't know how much time passed, but I ended up seeing her again. I saw her multiple times when I lived in that house, and she just felt very safe. It more felt like she was watching over me. And since that moment, that's when that kind of started, and I had my family to sort of guide me down that path. Some of them can't see, but some of them hear, some of them can smell, some of them can like they'll touch something and they can just have the instant history of it. So it was kind of like a Russian roulette of what I was gonna get. And I ended up with the seeing, and then the hearing came later.
Right. Is there still now a moment that because you knew from a young age you can see
Mhm.
and hear later? Um, I realize you're kind of used to hearing and seeing spirits right now. Is there still moments that you're like, whoa, what the hell?
Yep. Yes, absolutely. The last time I was actually with friends, and it was probably one of the, I don't want to say the scariest thing I've seen, but the most intense for sure. We were at a restaurant that we were talking about spirits and things, and I look over at this table of elderly people, and there was, I can only describe it as, I'm gonna say, like a minion of death next to one of them, and it filled me with such dread and just like pain that I had to get out of the restaurant, and I almost had a panic attack. I had to like touch a tree and touch ground, and I was like, I need to touch something alive. This is so intense. So it does still freak me out on occasion. There are things I haven't even experienced really yet that's in that world of things. Um, So it definitely still affects me and can be a bit of a shock sometimes.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Um, I think Mary had a question, or what? Was I wrong?
No, we missed one channel. It's not live, so I'm sharing out.
Oh, it's my YouTube. And there's a,
Yeah, YouTube is streaming, and Things Paranormal Netherlands
yeah,
is streaming. But Things Paranormal Talks not.
weird.
So I had to share it. It didn't
Oh,
update.
oh yeah. There had
So
to be one technical issue afterwards.
Not streaming
absolutely,
if there's
I'm
not a
glad
technical
you
issue.
It's always something. Always something.
always.
I'm just gonna tell my people I'm
So
live too.
perfect. Afterwards, I put it on TikTok
Yep.
and people can see it. So download, no problem at all. Did you encounter um, people who thought you were odd, or didn't you talk to others about it at that young age?
Um, I would say that my friends at a young age thought I was off or that I just had like imaginary friends. But I would say when it came to the adults, it was easier for them to understand it when I would say something that nobody should know, like about their family. Um, there was one time we were at a funeral and I remember seeing somebody standing over the casket and I asked my mom who it was and there was nobody there. Um, and I was started describing it and it ended up being a relative of the person who passed, but I'd never met. So that was kind of a like for that adult. But most of my friends when I was younger were just like, "Oh, it's your imaginary friends that you see, right?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were lucky your family are familiar with all
Yes.
these abilities, so
Yeah,
you're not.
that was very, very helpful. I've talked a lot about how my family is very supportive of that, and there are people that come into my comments and they're saying you're so lucky for that, and I really understand that I am because it's something that I really grew up with. Like I knew how to protect myself. I knew how to spot mimics and tricksters very young. They still get me sometimes, but just having that extra knowledge really helped, I think, enhance the abilities as opposed to repressing them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the thing you talked about with the funeral. I saw the sketch a
Mhm.
couple of days ago. Um, and you started telling it. I was like, oh, I saw that one. I saw the sketch coming by.
Yeah.
Um, other than that, you also do paranormal investigations.
I have started, yeah. I have done a cemetery and actually my friend's house who I'm in right now. I did their basement. I just filmed one in North Carolina. It was a never before investigated location. So I was very happy about that. That's coming out soon. Um, and I have a few more planned out. What how I like to do my investigations is I go to the place with zero knowledge about it because I don't want to be influenced by something that actually leads to more tricksters being able to trick me by, saying, "Oh, okay, I'm searching for there was a woman who was hung here," and then there's a trickster who's gonna say, "Hi, it's me," and it's not. So this time it's easier for me to grab that specific energy that is trying to come forward. Um, and it's been very creepy, as my friends described it, who have been around, because it's just all of a sudden I have all this knowledge that I shouldn't have, and it was really wild. There's one in particular from the North Carolina one, which is going to come out soon. He had me just walk outside, and he was like, "Just tell me what you feel here." And I walked outside, and my throat started getting really tight, and he could see that I was like touching and struggling a bit. And he noticed right away. He's like, "What do you feel?" I'm like, "My neck is really tight, and I feel like I'm being watched by so many people." And apparently, that location that we were at was the last public hanging. So
Oh,
that's why my neck started feeling really tight. I was feeling the rope around.
that sounds
That's
really creepy.
creepy
Yeah.
and cool.
For me it was very normal, but for them they were just super surprised that for someone who didn't know what was going on there that I could just pinpoint that with ease.
That is amazing. It's amazing and creepy at the same
Yeah.
time.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's much more creepy for me when I can start feeling how they die because I
Yeah.
feel that pain as well. So I've felt what it's like to be burned alive. I felt what it's like to be hung, shot, axed actually. There was one place again, North Carolina. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to investigate this part, but there was an axe murder at this house. And when we pulled into the parking lot, I started getting a headache and it felt like a line straight down.
Ooh,
And I told that to the person I was with, and he was like, "Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you about that later." And yeah, there was the axe murder there.
yeah, ouch. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not nice. That is so not nice.
Yeah.
You start feeling those things.
Yeah, it was rather uncomfortable.
I can understand that, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I can relate to the feelings of how people
Mhm.
passed and how do you get rid of it?
Usually once I acknowledge the feeling, the spirit will sort of pull back. They're more just trying to tell me, "Hey, this is how I died." And I'll say like, "Oh, okay, hanging," or like, "Ah, my chest hurts right here. It feels like I was shot." And then that feeling starts to dissipate when I get it right. Yeah. Then it's
Okay.
the other emotions that start coming up.
yeah, usually it's sadness or
Yeah.
anger. I
Usually
think,
anger.
yeah,
A lot of time they're very angry, especially if it's what was a murder. There's an injustice feeling there. They hold on to it. It's unfortunate. I do my best to try to help them. When I go to these places, I'm kind of like a ghost therapist. Um, so I'm going over their story, trying to make sure they feel heard and understood, and see if I can't help them either cross if that's something that they're interested in, or at least just feel a little bit more at peace and more understood.
yeah. Um, Going back to the sketches again, because there's something that caught my eye. Is it's
Mhm.
very busy at your house, if
Yes.
I have to believe all the sketches you do. I mean,
Yeah.
how many do you have in the house?
So I have a bit of an open door policy.
Ah,
Um, so I don't mind spirits coming in and out. Only the good ones are allowed to come in, and if a bad one comes in, it does not stay very long. I at the residence currently have a little girl. She's in my haunted doll. I did used to have a little boy, but a while ago during a meditation, I felt that the haunted doll spirit kind of took his hand and helped him, and I haven't felt him since. So I'm thinking maybe she helped him find his way because he was stuck for a long time. I probably had him there for at least a couple of months. I couldn't, he didn't really understand that he had passed, and it's very hard to explain to a child spirit.
yeah.
So I just told him that he could stay, and I occasionally, gave him some water and gave him some candy and some treats, and I think she really helps. So she's the resident right now, but it
Yeah,
does get very busy when things just knock over, and I'm like, hey, we don't do that. Read the house rules. I have house rules for the spirits. They have to read them and understand.
usually it does work, I think.
It usually does, but sometimes there is one that's a little bit more mischievous, and they gotta go.
I can understand. Um, there was one that I had to laugh so hard. It was the one with the pen on the table. You knew where the pen
Yes.
was. You walked
Yep.
away. You walked back, and the pen was gone. That
Yep.
was funny. What happened there?
So that happens quite a bit in my house, and even my husband has started picking up on it, and he's not a spiritual person at all. But I'll put something down and I'll walk away and I go back and it's just gone. And I have to use that little spell, like I've been searching round and round, once was lost has been found, and then within the next 15 seconds I will find it again. Sorry.
No worries, no
Um
worries.
that happens not just with pens, but anything. My husband will lose his wallet, and he has an air tag on it, and it's never where he put it originally. Just it's kind of the spirits are bored. It's their way of playing with us, and it's
Yeah,
harmless. So I let them do it.
Yeah,
yeah. I imagine it'd be very funny, unless you need
Yeah.
something very small, very fast.
yeah.
Well, actually, just yesterday, my husband was looking for his passport, and I knew exactly where it was, that it was supposed to be on his desk. And I said, "It's in the gaming room. I just don't know where." And I told him to say the words, and then he found it on the floor under my desk. So I was like, "Ah, see, you got a tricky one with you."
Yep,
Yep.
definitely.
Yeah,
Did you ever lose your keys?
all the time. Now, granted, I also have ADHD, so I'm open to the idea that I just lose everything, but I can't lose every single thing, you know? That's where
No.
the difference is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not possible.
No.
Um, you do a lot of meditations,
Um, I um, I
or at
should
least
do
try
more.
to.
I should do more. I tend to get a lot of information when I do meditations, and they are very tiring after. I can get a lot of past life information from the meditations, which is not always what I'm searching for. And then reliving your own death is upsetting. So I struggle a bit with the meditation aspect.
Yeah, because you tend to do that while bathing, and the first question that popped to mind to me was, "Aren't you ever scared to drown in the bathtub?"
Yeah. Oh God, that one. Oh
Yep, you
yeah.
know
So
exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't even know how it happened because that's never happened before. I've never fallen asleep because I have that fear of falling asleep in the bathtub. I was just so relaxed that suddenly I was falling asleep and I really felt like I thought it was my husband, but I felt someone push my legs and it shifted the whole thing that's how I woke up. So that
That is
I don't do that anymore.
no, I can understand why. That is scary.
Yeah.
That is very
No, now
scary.
if I meditate it's on ground, not around water.
Smart,
Yep.
very smart.
It is smart. We have questions.
Oh, I have answers.
Yes, probably. Samantha, Mrs. Shane, how do people react to your videos, and what is your favorite moment?
Oh, how do people react? Usually positive, usually with a bunch of questions. Um, a lot of people are curious about how they can further their own abilities or be able to see them. And I always say a word of caution that I understand why people want to be able to see them. They want to see their family, their loved ones. But if it was just that, it'd be so much easier, but it's not. You see so much other not so great things. It's not just your family members that are reaching out to you, it's everybody else's. So I try to give advice as best I can with that in mind. Um, my favorite moments when people react to my videos is usually like, "Oh, do I have anything on me?" Like that's the first question people because I'll usually talk about attachments. They're like, "Oh, can you see something?" And most of the time, no. But if they do ask and I see something, I will be honest and say like, "Yep, you do got something. Do you want me to take it off?"
Are you able to do that online?
um, I can help a little, but for me to fully be able to remove it, it does need to be in person. I've been able to start spotting things online. So, my friend, like, I'll be on a FaceTime call with her, and I made a sketch about this also. But she was showing me outside, and there was a park. And I said, "Wait, wait, wait! Can you stop in that park? There's someone under like there's a little play structure, and it looked like a ball, and then there was like a gap under." And I'm like, "There's somebody under there." And she started freaking out, and she's like, "There used to be a homeless person that always used to sleep under there, but I haven't seen him in a while." And I was like, "Well, I think I know why you haven't seen him in a while. Sorry." But in terms of videos, people are mostly okay. I get the occasional schizophrenic comment, but that's just mostly because people just automatically assume that schizophrenia is just instant hallucinations, and there's so much more to that diagnosis than just that.
We have another one. Um, I don't know the name for life, but before that,
Tater tot.
No clue. I can hear spirits, but I want to tap more into things. Can you give some pointers?
Sure. Um, so to learn to if you're hearing based, a good exercise that you can do is listen to music. When you listen to music, isolate one part of it. So when you're listening to it, focus on, for example, the guitar. If you slip and start listening to the lyrics, restart. So this will teach your brain to be able to hear one thing in a lot of noise. And I found that that's an exercise that can help me. Before you do any of this kind of stuff, it's very important to learn how to protect, banish, cleanse, and ward. Those will be your best friends. Because once you have something in, you need to know how to kick it out.
That might be a very smart plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I see another one, and it says, "Queen, who is we talking to?"
Sorry?
The question for you is, who are we talking to? So I think
Who
it's
are we talking to? Well, this is Mary and Shane. They are Things Paranormal Talks hosts,
yep.
and they are lovely people.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So are
You're
you?
welcome.
Heights Paranormal says, "You are such an inspiration, Queenie. You have helped me to feel more comfortable with my abilities and connections with the paranormal. Thank you for that, for what you do."
Well, you're welcome. You should be more comfortable in it. And curse anyone who says bad things about you.
Exactly.
Maybe don't do that, but like, take what I say with a grain of salt.
Kicking is not allowed
Yeah.
physically. You can
Ah,
do it in your head, though. You can think it.
Mhm.
Definitely.
we have another interesting question. Okay, thank you so much. Also, when I smell sulfur, is it a demonic presence?
Yes and no. Um so it can be an indicator because they do have a very intense scent, but it doesn't always mean that it's one. Sometimes it can be just a very strong entity. It doesn't always mean it's demonic.
No, because I noticed that in your sketches you use a lot of black eyes, but I can remember you saying it's not always demonic. It's just the way
No,
you
it's
put the sketch.
yeah, I use the black eyes really just to differentiate that it's
Yeah,
me versus a spirit talking.
yeah,
Um, I've seen the red eyes freak me out personally. When I see something with red eyes, that's when I'm like, ugh. Um, but I've seen white eyes. I've seen just regular eyes. Like I've seen no eyes.
that's creepy.
Yeah, the red ones tend to freak me out more though.
Oh yeah, no, I would think the no eyes. But
Yeah.
I have a spirit. If I see that spirit, I am gone. I will not come back. I will stop my ghost hunting. I will do nothing more. And that's when the mouth's wide open and it's a black hole. If I see
I
that, I'm gone.
understand. I understand.
Yep, don't be me. Goodbye.
First time you run.
Hey, that's the first time for
Yeah, you're
everyone,
like,
right?
nope, never mind.
Wow.
I always tell my investigators when I go hunting, if you see me running, run fast because I saw something like that.
Yeah.
I will never run except for them.
Or when someone is rushing fast towards you.
No, I'll probably be you. Uh,
Uh,
Dogman TP or Phil, as we know it.
yeah, Phil.
Queen of Vikings. How can people reach you?
Um, the really only DMs I answer are on my passes. It's just because it's safer for me. People can't send me photos
Yeah, you don't want
of
that.
any kind. So
Mm-mm.
that's pretty much the only way. I've seen a lot of people email. I don't always answer those, but I check my comments. So if you have a question, chances are your best chances. Comments, I might see it, I might answer.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, we have an off topic. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Um, Off topic, but how do I deal with three ball pythons? One is very moody.
Unfortunately, that is just ball pythons.
Yeah,
If it's more of a struggle to take them out, a snake hook is a really good idea. Have a frontward facing enclosure instead of one that opens from the top because that could be seen as a predator. Um, Keep them all in separate enclosures. I feel like this should be an very common sense fact, but some people will put them all together and they shouldn't do that. And feed frozen. Don't feed live because that usually doesn't end well for either species.
No, exactly.
do you
Like
have snakes?
I do, yes. I have a Mexican black king snake. His name is Mandalorian, and I have a tricolor hognose. Her name is Harley.
Cute. I love snakes.
Yeah.
They're my
Uh,
babies. I love them.
Snakes are amazing.
I agree.
Uh, Another off-topic one, but you are
Yeah,
also a gamer
I am.
and mostly horror games, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Um, how do you combine horror games with the spirits in your house? Not completely off topic.
um, I I don't. Well, if it's like a game involving the paranormal, I'll usually just start reassuring people and being like, "Hey, so you know how like my character just got thrown against the wall? That doesn't happen." So I'll try to like rationalize it in my head. The scariest games are when I'm like, "Hey, that would happen. That's an actual thing." Like stuff being thrown is
Yeah.
more likely than you are being thrown. Um Sheets getting pulled, that's happened to me before. Getting poked and like woken up, that actually happened to my husband. So like when these games incorporate these sort of more realistic aspects, that's when it gets scary for me because when it's, for example, something like what's that movie, like Insidious,
Yeah.
not the most realistic one, so it's very easy for me to kind of avoid that fear factor
Yeah.
because I'm like, that wouldn't happen. Like Darth Maul wouldn't come out of a red door and try to attack me.
Nope.
No.
No. So that
Not
that's
like
sort
that.
of my incorporation with those two. I just love all things scary.
Did you ever get scared of a spirit in your house while playing the game? Like, what the hell
Um
just happened?
I think just if they knock something over, it'll like give me a jump, but that's kind of it. I've never really had like a full-fledged apparition just show up out of nowhere. It's more like, oh, something will get knocked over. I think it's my cat, and I look and she's on her bed, and I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't her, and I just move on.
Smart.
I don't need to know what fell. She's here. She's fine. Everything's good.
Most important thing.
Yep.
um,
Uh, oh,
I saw a question.
yeah, hi, Paranormal has one.
Yeah.
I also ask you, Queen, what's the most interesting Estes method you have gone under? I mainly feel more connected with spirits when I go under the Estes method.
Um, I think the coolest one so far was actually the one with Nobo in the graveyard. That was one where I could feel the different entities coming forward. There was a lot that came forward. There was one that abducted another spirit, which was messy. Um, he just really, really wanted my attention, and he got it because he had to take a little boy spirit away, and then he put him
Mm,
back after he talked to me. But I would say that one was probably the most intense one I've had so far.
yeah.
Well, actually, um, so this one's not out yet. It will be out soon. Um, I did do an Estes method, and as soon as I got out of it, I started crying and shaking violently.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah, that one was pretty that one was pretty intense.
I can understand that. Are
yeah.
we
Yeah.
going to see why it happened?
Yes, yeah, it's a very, very naughty spirit. It was very intentional on their part to make me feel like that. But we got over it eventually. I just needed like 20 minutes to stop shaking so much and crying. Um, but that should be out this weekend, actually.
Oh, so everybody watch.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
I
everybody's got to
guess
watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
getting curious.
As soon
Um,
as it's out, I'm going to share it all over. So,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Thank you guys for reading my comments and questions, of course. Queen, thank you for being here and putting yourself out there for us. They love
Well,
you.
yeah, my babies are great. I love my little Vikelings. Thank you guys.
And a second question: what is the most common spirit that you sense out in the world?
Um, it's very unfortunate for me because this is a very emotionally draining one, but kids. A lot of kids. They get very confused, they're very sad. There's a lot of people that will comment when I talk about kid spirits and say that every kid spirit is a demon trying to trick you. That is just not true. I don't know where that stemmed from, but that's false. Um, there are actual kid spirits that just get stuck, and for some reason they flock to me, and it's so fun. It's so much fun. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially the draining part.
yeah, yeah. It's anytime I actually just went to the another graveyard, and the first thing I thought of, I was like, huh, I feel like there's a kid and like three people trying to talk to me, and I was walking all over the graveyard trying to find like where it was coming from, and there was this little like gated section. So naturally, I like hopped the fence and walked in it. And there was three big monoliths and a little one, and that's the three that were trying to talk to me and the kid. So they were all in that section.
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah. Found them
Very cool.
almost instantly.
Yeah, I notice when kids are around me, kid spirits are around me, I get giggly,
yeah,
and that's a
Yep.
weird. That's a weird view for me because
Getting
I'm big.
giggly.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
not
a
a
big
giggly
guy.
man, Shane.
Not like that. I'm funny, but not giggly.
I can
Usually,
confirm you are
usually
funny.
funny. Usually funny. Um, Phil asks the question if he can ask your lineage in respect of your title, Queen of Vikings.
Yeah. So I actually just studied this a little bit more recently. But I am mainly Gaelic, Celtic, and Scandinavian. Those are my big three. We were mainly my clan name is Sutherland. Um, and then the Scandinavian side, we've only been in Canada. I think I'm the third generation in Canada. Um, I would like to go back though. I very much like to go to maybe like southern Sweden. Maybe little bit less snow, but
yeah.
less snow than Canada, just on the southern end. Um, yeah, and then the Scottish. I actually still have family members over there.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Very cool.
Absolutely. My parents will fly over to Sweden, to the southern part. So if they have beautiful pictures, we send them
From there.
over.
See, that's why I gotta go. I gotta go there.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Um, you already said this to us, but I think Tater Top for Life came in a little later. What
Yeah,
came first, your hearing or your sight?
Oh yes. The first hearing in sight was well, the first hearing was actually when I was a teenager. The first sight was when I was younger, about 5 or 6. A lady at the edge of my bed, and I screamed. Mom came in, trying to see what was wrong. I started describing the woman, and she said the next time that I see her, just to sort of feel what she was like. And lo and behold, she came back, and she was just very protective. But weirdly enough, I haven't seen her since I moved out.
Hmm. Maybe she's attached to or the house or your parents.
My thought is that once I was out of there, she no longer felt a need to keep me safe.
Also, good one.
Yeah.
makes
And
sense.
the hearing was when I was a teenager. Was going through quite a rough time, and I started seeing some very very bad things I did not want to see anymore. So I asked the universe if they could take it away, and they took it away, but then they gave me hearing. Um, that was when I was, I probably want to say about like 15 or 16 ish. And I remember sitting watching TV and I was having a conversation with no one, but I could hear everything that was being said. That was weird.
Weird,
But
creepy, and cool.
Yeah.
yeah, all at the same time. All at the
Hmm.
same time. I did need to use the lights for confirmation just to be sure that I wasn't going insane because I was having very high anxiety. So I was like, oh, maybe this is just a symptom of that. No, that has stayed. And the lights, I had a rule with them. It was twice for yes, once for no, and so I was using that with one of the lights.
Smart. Plays
Yeah.
for your sanity. A lot of smart
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm always
Um,
about mundane before magical. So always think of the physical reason it could actually happen, and then if we can't now, we're diving into the other side.
yeah, the perfect way to go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. I saw some questions coming by.
Yeah, Julio.
Now I got one from Robert, and it's a very, very hard to say last name. Robert. Queen, do you have a paranormal channel? And I know you do, but
Well, my main channel, Queen of Vikings on YouTube, is where I do my paranormal Q&As and my ghost hunts. I don't have a channel specifically just for paranormal stuff. My ADHD, I don't think would allow that. I'd get bored of it too easy. So, really follow my Instagram. That's what I'm gonna be pushing much more.
yeah, there's a lot on your Instagram.
Hmm.
Definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Julio said something about the kid spirits. He said, Queen, is it because you have a kind soul that the kids come to you, or do you think it's another reason altogether?
I mean, it'd be really nice if they came just because I'm a kind soul. But I really don't know why. I've had theories. A lot of times people like me, um, we are kind of like a lighthouse. And so we have our beacon that's going around, and so spirits tend to be drawn to that. Um, I don't know if it's just I'm not afraid of kid spirits or I just instantly don't think they're demonic that they come to me, but they very much do. And it is usually anytime I go to a graveyard, the first ones that I see are always kids, and I have to just like do this a little bit.
I can understand that. He's
Yeah,
he can see us. Let's go.
yeah,
I can see it happening too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
You're
almost did.
freezing again.
Yeah, I have to say goodbye to my wife and kid because
Ah.
they were watching.
My wife and kid.
Well, say good night
Sa-
to them.
Everybody says bye.
Yeah.
Good night, wife and kid.
Queen says bye. Good night. Oh, there's
No
somebody who wants to say hi
reaction.
for a sec.
No
Oh, just a
reaction.
second. Usually
Hello.
Hello.
don't do this. We usually do not do this at our podcast, but
What the heck? It's
and
vacation.
That's all
It's
right.
and
holiday. Well, we have Back to the Bone, Paranormal. Hi. um, Data
paranormal.
thoughts. Yeah, I've seen your skits of the ones that you have shown us.
Yes. Yeah. I really try to do it in sketch form as best I can to sort of explain how everything is. Um it's sometimes hard because there's one story in particular I haven't shared yet just because I don't know how to make it under a minute. um but recently I was at the hairdresser and the woman was we were talking about paranormal things and she was like, oh, it'd be so nice if you could talk to my brother, but I know that's not how it works. And she's a sweet woman, she's very sweet. So when she walked away, I was trying to tune in to see if maybe her brother would come forward. And there was just this older man who had like salt and pepper hair, but it was a little bit more on the whiter side. And he kept pointing to a ring over and over and saying like, tell her I'm okay. And I was like, that's so great, who do you belong to? There was no, he didn't point to anybody or explain who he was here for, but he was here for somebody. And he kept giving me A names. So it was like Aiden, Adriano, Alan. Like it was just A names over and over. She came back and I explained what I was seeing, and she was like, this means nothing to me. And I was like, okay, so it's not you. Great. Um, so she started going to the receptionists to ask if, anybody that was familiar. The other hairdresser beside me, I guess, overheard and came over and asked again what I'd seen. So I explained everything. I explained the ring, the A names, how he looked, and she just started tearing up instantly, like tears in her eyes. And she said that that was the exact description of her ex-boyfriend who passed 2 years ago.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
And the ring was because that is the only thing she has of his.
Ah,
Yeah. So that was very emotional. I have bleach in my hair while I'm doing this, by the way. And so I'm trying to explain to her, like, well, he says, like, take care of your own happiness. Like, have you been not putting yourself forward? And she started crying even more because she just started seeing somebody else and was wondering if he was okay with it. So it timed very well that he came to me to be like, yeah, it's okay. Like you can go do that. And he kept showing me forehead kisses, so I was telling her that. And apparently he was at like that perfect height, so he would always give her a forehead kiss.
no,
oh, it's
that
cute.
is beautiful.
But I
Yeah.
don't know how to condense that to a sketch, but I'm trying to figure it out.
That's gonna be a hard one, especially in a minute.
Yeah. I gotta talk just really, really fast.
Well, I think you can do that. You can
I
manage
like your
that.
belief in me.
Yeah, it's ADHD.
Yep, ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the thing. 'Cause my son has ADHD, my daughter has ADHD, and they can talk 7 days in 3 minutes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I think you can manage.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Um, let me see. 'Cause we have a lot of interaction right now. Uh, Julio again. Queen, do you have a favorite encounter with a spirit?
um. Oh, every single encounter is going through my brain right now. I would say probably any with my great grandfather. He comes forward the most. He's like the ancestor I'm most connected to. Anytime I'm looking for guidance, it's either the goddess Hell or him that pop up. He's just always been really great. He's very understanding of our family dynamic, so he's really great to talk to for a lot of that. Um, and mm, yeah, I guess anytime like I remember one time I was crying and he showed up and when you're sitting in the bed like concaves, that happened next to me and I started feeling my back getting really hot like he was rubbing it. And it ended up being his birthday that day, so I think he was a little bit stronger that day in particular. And when I told my mom everything that was going on and I was crying and he felt the rubbing, she asked me to imitate how the rubbing was, and I was doing it and she's like, that's exactly how you used to rub our backs. So that's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I can understand that because
Yeah.
that's a close relative as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Phil has another question. How do you prepare to shadow travel?
um I don't know what that is.
Okay. Phil, you have to explain.
Yeah,
I
you might have
think
to
it's
explain a little
because
bit. If you're talking about like shadow traveling in like video games, just like put your XP up as much as you can. But I'm not too sure what shadow traveling is when it comes to spirits.
no, I think it's because it was in the introduction, but I think it's gaming related.
Oh, shadow traveler. Oh, yes,
Hmm.
yes. That's more of a reference to the fact that I also do traveling vlogs. Yeah. That's about that.
Cool. See, we can figure everything out.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got it. We
at
got
the
it.
end.
We got
At the end.
right on top of
Absolutely.
it. How often do you have an encounter that sticks with you on an emotional level?
Not as
Very
often as
good
people
question.
probably think. Um, I think my last like super emotional encounter was probably the one that's gonna come out soon. That was the Henry Derby house. Um, I kind of as empathetic as I am when it comes to spirit, I find it important to kind of keep a barrier in between. Um, there are definitely some like that little boy that really stick, but it's on the rarer side.
Yeah,
Hmm.
thank God it's not that often. Because if it would be often, it
And
would be
no,
very
it'd be
depressing,
very,
I think.
very tiring.
Yeah.
Do we also see or hear spirits? Well, I do hear them. I don't see them.
Uh,
Mary?
oh my God. Yeah. Occasionally I hear them and I see them, I smell them, and I get the
Mhm.
sensation of how they died. Yeah.
All very strong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the time I try, um, yeah, really to protect myself, because otherwise I can't even go to the supermarket or get a job, because people are calling my name in the middle of the store,
Mhm.
and my colleagues jumping if I reply and there's no one. So, yeah,
Yeah, I understand that. There's been times I'll walk through the grocery store and I'm like, "Oh, sorry." And there's nobody.
exactly.
Yeah. My husband is just like, "Okay, we're gonna change aisles." I'm like, "All right, that's not gonna help, but sure, we'll change
Yeah,
aisles."
yeah, that would be a very weird encounter.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a good one as well. There's so many good questions right here.
Yeah,
Have you had any animal spirit encounters?
No, actually. I haven't had any, like, any pets or other people's pets. I've seen creatures. I wouldn't categorize them as animals by any means. Um, but that's I think the most animalistic I've gotten is just the creatures.
Like cryptid creatures or
Worse.
oh now you have to
um,
explain.
there's one in particular that I can visually see because I saw it and it very much just imprinted. Um, it was like a very dark creature, like dark blob with like horns that went up. It had a bit of a hunch and it was dripping.
you.
Yeah, he was dripping. I remember seeing it in the woods. And I just kind of looked at it, saw it, it saw me, and we just kept driving. Um and that was it.
Thank God.
Yep. Didn't follow me, didn't do
Mm,
anything, just stayed in there.
Lucky you.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, I can understand why that would be like. Ooh,
Mhm.
Oh my
please
God.
stay there. Don't
Yeah.
come with me. Don't do that.
Well, Bella Pearl has a funny question. Have you had any encounters in the shower?
Yes.
Never shower in the normal way again.
Yes.
Oh,
I have had encounters. I have had one in particular because spirits don't care that we're naked. That shame does not exist for them. So I'll be in the shower and there's just like one hanging out, like peeking through the curtain. And I'm like, ah, hi. Can you not do that? And they're like, yeah, I need you though. I'm like, okay, I'm busy. Um, can you go? And we have to like conversate to be like, you need to leave right now. They do end up leaving, but they're very much not shy. So I've had encounters in the shower before. Yes.
That would be so weird.
Yep.
I'm never showering again.
Well,
Well, you
you
know, like when
have
you
to.
like wash your hair, you're like washing your face, you close your eyes, you're like, huh, I'm feeling watched. Most of the time I see what's watching me. So
Oh,
I have to wash and then I turn around and they're just like, hey.
Funny as hell.
Yep. It's great.
not the right moment. Go away.
No,
Yeah,
never a dull moment with spirits.
Give me 10 minutes.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, oh my
Uh,
God.
boop, boop. Tater Tot, yeah, Tater Tot for life says, I remember watching the one with you when you were younger, and it was your grandfather.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I can remember that one, which is
I
actually beautiful.
I thought of a question as well because I get scratched, I get bitten, sometimes even bruises. Um,
Mhm.
does the same happen to you? Never.
I've been scratched. I've never been bitten. The bruises I might have, but I'm also I just be walking into stuff sometimes. So I don't actually know if it's spiritual or not when it comes to the bruises. Um, I would recommend cleansing your house and you, um, and carrying some form of protection on you at all times, whether this is like an amulet or a rune, if you would so like. But it seems like maybe you're a little bit more susceptible, need some protection.
Well, the bitten part I could explain. I was talking to a kid spirit and I had a teddy bear on the ground, but I had to do, I had to work with the dogs. So
Mm.
without thinking, I got the bear and put it on the table, but in the middle. And it probably got angry. And a small child, it can bite. It,
They can, yeah, they can.
yeah, so I put the stuffed animal on the ground again, and it was fine. And the camera is gone.
Where'd you go?
Oh, she was shocked. Let's hope she reconnects. Um,
I thought it was my aunt again.
no, no, not this time. So let's hope she's coming back because it's very, very interesting.
It is
She has to
definitely.
reconnect.
Yeah.
There she is.
What happened?
Sorry, my husband called me.
Oh, yeah, you have to pick that up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cause
Sorry about that.
yeah, no problem. See, like technical, it always has to happen. It doesn't matter.
Yep. Yep.
We will make something out of it.
I just had to
Uh,
refresh the page.
well, it worked out.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Um, I have some questions in the comments, but I'm going to address them later because I have a question.
Yes.
Since your lineage is from Viking age,
Mhm.
have you ever seen a Viking?
Um, I have seen Viking poop actually. When when I was in Scotland in no, it wasn't in Scotland. It was in York. That was like one of the places where the Vikings and Scandinavian people settled, and so it's one of the most medieval towns. They had an entire exhibit about things the Nordics used to have. They have preserved bones. They have preserved swords, games, fecal matter. So that I say would be the closest I've seen to what a Viking would have been.
That's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about the village though. There,
It's
heard a lot
beautiful.
about. Yeah, I still want to go there one day.
It was one of my
Uh,
favorite places aside from Edinburgh.
yeah, we're going to Edinburgh.
Oh, it's great.
in a month, right? Yeah, it's a month. In a month.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very curious to see everything there. Um, I always feel like I'm being watched at night, and I always see a face when I close my eyes. I was wondering how I would go about finding out the reason why I'm seeing a face.
Well, I would start by cleansing and protecting in case the face is bad. Um, so start with removing the fact that it might be a negative, and if after that you're still seeing a face, if you can draw it out, try to get kind of a actual idea, not just a subconscious idea of what it looks like. You can ask family members, maybe it's an ancestor, maybe it's a version of you from a past life. There are honestly many reasons this could be happening. It's very hard to pinpoint what it could be. We just want to make sure it's not negative and hurting you.
Most important part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better Pearl, how do you know you see, or how can you see more?
Well, how do you know if you see? If you've seen a ghost most of the time, you know. There's just that part of you that will probably try to be like, ah, it was a shadow and it was like, you know, a super sunny day and there was no shadow inside. They'll try to rationalize it. If you can see more, that possibility is always there. Just a lot of people have a mental blockage for that because once you see something less great, usually the shutdown is immediate after. So getting kind of over that hump, making sure mind, body, and soul are good because, like I've said a little bit earlier, the reason I can hear is because my mind was so bad that it couldn't handle it anymore. So then it kind of swapped to something that was a little bit more easier to handle. Um, but if you have any sort of like anxiety, depression, um, I had a panic disorder when I was younger. So anything like that can really make that side worse. So just making sure the brain is okay, you're eating super good and taking care of yourself, that is a really good step to having a better experience with that side.
Yeah, yeah, very clear.
Yeah.
Julio asked you questions. Says, what is one of the most uncomfortable encounters you've had? If you want to answer.
Um, Uncomfortable is probably any time it has to do with like slavery. That's always a like,
Yeah,
ugh, I feel like I shouldn't be feeling this because um that stuff is some of my more uncomfortable ones. One in particular that comes to mind was the one that I just filmed in North Carolina. I don't want to give too much away, but there is a very not super fantastic history in the one part where we were. Oh, this is so vague. Um, and we were in a courthouse, and I was able to see what some of the cases were there and experience what they were. And there was just one that was really, really intense that I don't actually know if we're gonna keep in the video, but to be determined. But experiencing that level of pain and injustice is always like an uncomfortable feeling, especially when there's so much residual energy still around there, and the person responsible for all of that was still very much there and did not change their mind. Was still very much of that mindset, which can happen. They can get stuck, or sometimes when someone passes, they can get like almost epiphany and be like, "Oh, I regret everything. I was terrible." But sometimes they do get stuck. So that typically that area is some of my more uncomfortable experiences, especially when the thing that has passed has not grown at all.
yeah, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand why you're second guessing if you want to put that in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
There's much more I'm leaving out on purpose. But it might be in there, it might not, or we might make it like a very small section and then just move past it.
Also a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then there's another thing you do, which I think is very interesting, and I think Mary is going to find it very interesting as well. You are a hunted collector.
I'm a haunted collector.
Haunted collection. Yeah, you find
Yeah,
haunted stuff.
yeah. I find haunted things. Yes. um, I started doing the haunted or not haunted series, and people really like it. The biggest question I get though, and that I want to reassure people, is always like, well, what if I go and get like a haunted item? Most of the time, you're fine. You'll know right away if you just start suddenly getting sick and things start suddenly really bad happening. Get rid of whatever you just bought. But typically, when you get something antique or something vintage, you want to cleanse it right away. And that's a step that not everybody does. I myself have been guilty of doing that a couple times. But when you bring something in from that, cleanse it. Cleanse it right away, windows open, use smoke, sound, whatever method you have that isn't cultural appropriation. Use that for that item.
Yep, I couldn't
Yeah.
agree more. I'm guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
didn't learn anything, so I'm going to keep continuing doing. But how did you find out that you could notice a haunted object by feeling?
Um, it it just kind of feels like a TV static, you know, like the old TVs when you touch it. I would go over an item and just kind of be drawn to it and I start touching it. That's how I feel it. And I'll get these flashes of memory about what that item has endured or how long it's been around. And there was a time when I was looking at the my haunted doll, Miss A. Um, we were walking around this really old, pretty like antique dresser, I guess. And I was touching it, and all I could see was this couple, and they were really cute and really sweet. And like I kind of watched their life together when I touched it. And I remember asking the owner like who it belonged to, and it belonged to his grandparents.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's a little external confirmations that sort of confirmed like, oh, I can actually do this. That's great. And now it's become just like an average thing where it's like, hey, let's go to the antique store. Let's go look at all this stuff because I want to go see what's haunted and what's not haunted.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm going to try it, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just try to
I have
feel
to.
try to feel for the TV static.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to try it.
Hmm.
It works. It really works.
Who knows?
We have a small story. It's from Bella Pearl. When I stood by one grave before my legs, head, and stomach started to hurt badly, so she left it to go to another, and it was fine. Then she went to a different grave and got the same pain, and she's now confused why.
That just sounds like either the energy was too strong in those two places and it was causing a physical reaction. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a negative reaction by any means. A lot of people confuse that whenever they start feeling like nauseous. They're like, "Oh my God, it's a bad entity." It's no, it's just you might not be able to handle it, which is okay. Um, that's kind of what it sounds like, especially if you went to a different one and then still sort of felt that. It might just be the energy was a little bit too intense for you to handle.
Yeah, that sounds
Or
Yeah.
they died by like exploding and all their limbs hurt. It's one of those two.
could be. I hope it's the first one.
Yeah, yeah, I hope it's the first one.
That would be messy.
Ah, ah.
Let's see. Do you go to NC? I think it's North Carolina to go ghost hunting, or do you just come across these encounters?
I before it was just going across the encounters because I was telling my friend Norse Forge that I can do all this stuff and he has a bunch of haunted things. So he started handing me things to be like, what do you feel from this? What do you feel from this? And I got it right every time. And he brought me to all these different locations. And then recently we went specifically to go and ghost hunt in this place. We were supposed to do two ghost hunts, but the second one didn't end up panning out, unfortunately.
Hmm. Maybe in the future. You never know.
Yep, maybe in the future.
There is a question from Tater Tart for Life. I think that's why I think she came in a little bit later.
Mm.
Did you have uh, any encounters with a mimic?
Yes, yeah. They suck. Um, one in particular, which taught me about the importance of sound cleansing. I was using a spirit board, which I don't really use much anymore for this reason. Um, and I was trying to speak to a god that I was worshiping, which I had done many times before. But they were answering the questions a little weirder than normal, which is why it's very important to vet who you're speaking to. And I had a set questions. I knew what the answers were, and they were like getting them right, but answering them in a weird way. So I remember asking, "Are you like this god?" And it said no. I said, "Okay, are you here to hurt me?" And I have never seen the pendulum move with such force in the direction of yes. So I dropped it. I said goodbye. I wrapped it up, and it took me about 3 or 4 days to get rid of that energy in my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was one mimic that was trying to be a god. And there was a moment I was very vulnerable. I have a friend who passed away, and I started feeling her energy, and I was really, I guess, searching for it a little bit too much, and I got tricked. It was a mimic. They messed up how long we had been friends for, and called them out on it. For some reason, there's the assumption that you're not supposed to call out a mimic. I think that's more when it comes to skinwalkers as opposed to mimic, because I've called out every mimic I've encountered and been like, "You're fake, go away," um, and just been able to kick them out.
yeah. The only thing I know from mimics is when you hear them, you should not answer. But I've never
Yeah,
heard about not calling them out if you know they're fake.
yeah. So when it comes to at least in canon lore with skinwalkers, they'll like call your name, they'll whistle, they'll try to like get you to come to them. That you don't answer. But say like in a situation where like I'm feeling this energy, and like there was no verbal, like, "Hey, I'm right here." It was just like, "Huh, I feel you really strongly," and then the energy started showing up more. That's a different situation where you can be like, "Hey, huh, goodbye."
Yeah, I saw. There was one with a negative entity. Yeah, it was a mimic. No, it was somebody, a negative entity that was
Mm.
feeding off of you, and you were like, "That's not my thought."
Yeah,
Wait a
yeah.
second. That video
Yeah,
was funny.
that one wasn't a mimic, that was a parasite actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got that one. I think I just hadn't done my wards in a while, but that one was crazy. It snuck in so quick. Like, I remember I had a friend over in February, and our vacuum, which is on the floor, fell over across the room.
Hmm.
There was nobody around. Me and him were in the living room. My cat was sleeping on her bed. She was also freaked out. She started puffing. So I walked over and I look at it and I'm like, "Oh, it fell. That's fine." Ignored that. Um, then I was in the shower and one of my plants just fell over into the shower. No reason. Also kind of ignored that, which these were two things that I should not have ignored. This is definitely on me. And my husband, who is not, again, spiritual in the slightest, him and I were sleeping, and we had had such bad sleep, like such bad sleep. We were unmotivated. We were sleeping like 2 hours on, 2 hours off. We started feeling unsafe when we were sleeping, which is unlike either of us. And we were both having nightmares and woke up to the same woman screaming.
Hmm.
And we
Mm.
both shot up and like we're looking around and we looked and realized we were both awake and we're like, "Did you hear that? I heard that." Our neighbor's a bit of a so we thought it was her, but her car wasn't even in the back. So she
That
wasn't
is
home.
weird.
I started cleansing right away. And he actually drew a picture of something that he saw. He's very good with art, so he was able to draw it much better. And it was literally something feeding off. And I was like, "Okay, this has gotta go. This needs to leave right now." And I'm cleansing him, and I walked away, and he's like, "Wait, wait, wait, you need to come back. I'm not fully cleansed yet." Which was a crazy sentence for him to say because, like I said, he doesn't believe in any of this.
Yeah,
So I like walked back over, and I was like, "Okay, all right." So I cleansed him extra well, and that also took some time to leave, but that was very unpleasant to start feeling. And immediately now, when something just feels a little off, I'm like, "Ooh, that's not me. Cleanse," and we just remove it again.
yeah, and I imagine the sketch be. It looks easy to get rid of something like that because
Mhm.
it's you have to put it all in 1 minute.
Yeah.
But the way you make that sketch, I almost peed myself. So funny. It was like
Yeah.
the way you, the
The
way
the
you,
bye-bye bell.
ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. That was funny as hell. But I
Yeah,
can imagine it.
I actually didn't use that one for to get rid of something that strong. I take my pots and pans and I bang them together because it's louder. So I'm just running around my house like, get out of my house now, like over and over until I feel like it goes away. I look like a crazy woman, but it works.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
They can call me crazy all the time.
exactly, but it still works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna do. I think the last two questions. I'm gonna look at Mary. She doesn't know
Yeah,
I'm looking, but I'm looking.
yeah. I know you're looking. Um, Julio, can you learn how to see and hear spirits, or does the universe have to give it to you?
I I don't actually know. I've never really met anybody who had no experiences before and then suddenly could. Most of the time they had one or two things and then furthered it. I don't think it's not impossible. But it definitely takes a lot of mental training. It takes a lot of mistakes and learning from those mistakes. Um, but I don't see how it's not impossible.
I think everything is possible if you really
Yeah,
want.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just learn protection first.
yeah.
most important part and
Yeah.
grounding.
Yes. Yeah.
If you float around, it's gonna be dangerous.
Mhm.
I'm going to pick.
Yeah,
Mary.
we have so many questions, so you have to pick.
Yeah, everybody I think saw the I think they saw my little alert to be like, "Hey guys, we're live over here."
A lot of people watching you, please. Um, Mary, you want to pick the last question?
Let me scroll down. Um, yeah, I think this one stands out for me. How would you be able to tell if an animal was a skinwalker? Because every night her dog acts so weird, and when she calls the name, he will just stare at her and not move.
Um, that would kind of depend on a couple of things. Like the age of the dog and the breed would definitely give me an insight because there are some dogs that just don't have a good a recall at all or just typically don't respond to their names. Like Great Pyrenees, good luck trying to get them to come to you. They're not going to. Um, it it's very dependent. Um, if the dog stands up on two legs, that's your sign.
Hmm.
That's a pretty good one. Just suddenly standing up on two legs and like staring at you, get out of the house. Get out. Run. Run far. I don't care where you run. Just don't ever go back to the house.
Burn the house. Do whatever it takes.
Yeah, burn the
Go.
house. Home insurance, that's it.
Oh my God, it makes me laugh so hard. I have a dog who will greet everyone on two legs. She will
That's
hop,
that's it. The jumping. The jumping. Oh,
It's cute.
yeah, like a penguin, a kangaroo. Oh my God,
that's cute. That's fine.
no skinwalker.
Not a skinwalker.
She says it's a boxer and he's three.
Yeah, that's still a baby.
Yes.
I would give him the grace for that. And boxers are also they have one brain cell fighting for third place.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
they're very sweet.
exactly.
They can usually look at their eyes like, ah,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and there's just nothing.
completely
yeah.
emptiness. I love those dogs. Those are
No
funny.
lights up.
No.
No.
I see another. I see all questions coming in. I'm sorry, guys. We're not going to answer them right now. If the queen was going to decide to answer them later, she is already able to do that. Thank you so much for joining us in this podcast because
Of
that's
course.
That was amazing. Definitely.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And
Yeah,
you
if ever you guys want to do this again, let me know. You guys
You're
were great.
always
absolutely,
welcome. You're always welcome.
absolutely. Yeah.
Hopefully with my own background, because this is
Yes, both of us not on holiday.
now at home.
Yeah.
Good internet connection. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Have the internet handled it pretty good.
Yeah, it's my hotspot, or else it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Love
So I'm
that.
probably gonna have a bill in the end of the month, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can try to schedule another one. You guys have my contact.
Oh,
I will send you an email and we'll
you are
definitely
the
make
best.
another appointment.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody who watched and interacted with us, because I think we've never had so many interactions in one evening. Don't forget to subscribe to the Queen,
Yeah, absolutely.
because if you didn't,
Okay.
then please do
Yeah.
And
on
subscribe to these
everything.
guys because you're already watching their thing, so you might as well click it.
Yeah, we do a lot of interviews like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So everybody, thank you so much for watching, and we will be back next week on
Yes.
Wednesday. And
On
I'm the
Wednesday.
hope
Yeah, with an author.
Thank
and the heater.
you guys so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Queen.
Bye,
It was
guys.
amazing. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
All right, we are going to end this one as well. At least
Yeah.
Mary's going to end it because I can't do anything.
I love it. I love it. I
She's
love
got
it.
the power.
Well, I will put us in the background
Yep.
and start the music. And we hope to see you back next week.
Yes.
And we might tell a secret about a few guests who are coming on. I'm so happy for it. So you have to watch. So next week,
Bye bye.
which music? Oh, here.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's a lot of lists.
found it.
Pick one.
Found it. Bye.
Bye bye.